Hi, everyone. I'm Emma Mitchell, and I'm an energy healing guide and a psychic medium. Today, I'm here with Michelle, and she's going to tell us a spirit story that recently happened to her. So, thanks, Michelle, for being here, and let's hear your story.
Yeah, thank you. I, my father and son and his wife and I rented a teeny tiny little cabin up at Thunder Mountain Lodge in Colorado for 3 nights. It was like 400 square feet. It was really amazing. Like one whole side of the cabin was all windows looking out into the lake. Um, but it was super, super tiny. There was one little tiny bedroom with bunk beds in it, and the other bed was actually at the end of the living room kitchen area, um, which is where I slept on the top and my father slept on the bottom for 2 nights when my son and his wife were in the bedroom. And then they left Sunday night. My father and I stayed. So I stayed in the bedroom that night. And I woke up, it was probably like 1 or 2 in the morning. I didn't feel like anything startled me awake. I just woke up. I definitely felt peaceful. Um, and then I just felt like my back was turned towards the door, and I just felt like two hands on like my back, my two shoulder blades, and somebody quietly, but it wasn't a whisper. It definitely wasn't a yell, but say, "Oh, somebody's in this one." And then I felt the hands go, and that was it. And I did turn around, like really quite expecting to see somebody, and there wasn't anybody. I think I did call out my dad's name, even though I absolutely knew it was not him. He knew where I was sleeping. He would not have come in anyway, or said, "Oh, there's somebody in this one already." Even after that, because I can be pretty scared about encountering ghosts and spirits, I really did not freak out. I was very calm about it, but I absolutely knew something had been there. I have 3 dogs that were sleeping in the room with me, and not one of them barked or stirred or were startled at all. Um, so whatever it was pretty calm, noticed I was there and left.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard this story a few times now, and it just always is fascinating to me. Do you feel, I know you were asleep, but do you sense that that was a male energy or a female energy?
Oh gosh. I really can't tell if it's male or female, but I definitely felt like there were two people.
Yeah. So,
But I guess
per
even now thinking about it, I can't determine whether it was male or female, but definitely two people.
Okay. Do you know anything about the history of that area?
I do not, and I've never been. Um, I would say I don't, and I should look into it. I wouldn't say, the cabin wasn't super, super, super old, but it definitely was not modern. Um, very, very rustic, had like a little 3 burner stove. The flooring was nice. Yeah, I don't know anything about the area, but it is up the pass. It's past Powderhorn ski area.
Hmm.
Um, I would say about 20 minutes. It's pretty desolate, like right there where the cabins are. I think there might be 10 cabins, but we were there Halloween weekend, actually, and we didn't see anybody else up there. Like at the cabins themselves, we saw some people at the store, the lodge, Tanoki. Um, but that was it. I don't think it was definitely, definitely off season for up there because people do snowmobile and they do kayak and stand up paddleboard and on the lake. So it was really quite desolate.
I know we talked before this that we would do a little psychic reading to see who this person or people were. So I've already kind of tuned into this, and the information I'm getting is it's a male and a female, like a husband and wife, and maybe a couple kids. And the message I'm getting or I'm seeing is it's like this man in like a denim, weird, a denim jacket kind of with like a white shirt and denim, like miners used to wear, and he has a mining cap with him, which is interesting to me. Maybe it's just the symbolism of it. But the message I'm getting is that they were travelers and they were moving, on the way to somewhere else. And this was like a place that people would stay, like on the way to wherever they were going to, for them to start their new life. So they were trying to find somewhere to sleep, not saying necessarily that this cabin was there at the time. Like it may have been a different cabin, it may have been a different sleeping situation, and they were like moving along, and this was just a stopping place for them. So, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense to you,
I
just
mean,
in the
it
situation.
certainly, I would say, makes a whole lot of sense just with the area, and
Yeah.
even though I have not done any research, that certainly seems like a place. I mean, that's Colorado too, where a lot of people moved through.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I can just, in just seeing this, I can see what they look like. The man, there's like some sadness there, like they're trying to just figure it out. And I don't think that they had a lot of money, maybe. So they were just trying to stay where they could and, start over, which is really scary. But I see
Mm,
he has like a scruffy face and yeah, so interesting. I can't
I,
even imagine that life, trying
yeah,
to start
yeah.
over.
And with kids and everything, I mean, quite honestly, I think we've just gotten so spoiled. Um, my living situation is a bit different than others. And it's just really funny what you actually need
Yeah.
to be happy, to survive, to get through. It's definitely by choice how I'm living, but that's definitely gone through my mind. But even back then, it was so much more survival. I mean, I'm certainly not in survival mode, but definitely like, what do we really need and what's important and what makes you happy?
Yeah.
That's definitely thoughts. Um, and like I said, I would even now say, even after you said that, that there was like kindness. I had already said that I definitely was not scared, even though I could like feel lightly on my back. And it just surprises me that I wasn't scared. It might have been because my dad was there and he was always my safety. Who knows, even at 50 years old. Um, but even now that you say that, just thinking about laying there, it was like a kindness.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have this like gentleness, but there's also a little bit of sadness. And I'm trying to get information on did something happen to them along the way or something happened there. But I don't necessarily think that seems like it's like an echo in that spot because maybe they couldn't find somewhere to sleep in this place. So there's sadness of like, we're here, but we can't stay or, we're weary. I don't really know. I'm not getting a lot of information, but yeah, definitely not malicious at all. Very gentle, kind, people just trying to make their way in the world. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about there's been several times in my life where I've heard a voice. Even just a few months ago, I did Reiki for somebody and I heard a voice say something to me. I can't remember what it was now, but I'm always taken aback. Like, was, did I just hear that? Was that real? And I'm sure that you probably thought that too. And then you never know. Is it a female voice? Is it a male voice? Because it's just such a surprise of, oh, that actually happened, I think. Or did I hear it in my head?
And I would say, I did. I definitely heard it. Again, like it wasn't the quietest whisper, but it was soft spoken.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in my mind, I did not have any, and even feeling it on my back, like those two things were, it was very, very real. But yeah, when you asked if it was female or male, even now, hearing it like that, I still can't decipher.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that definitely there was two. I mean, that's what I just feel. And I have not had very many experiences like this at all. And I will say again, thankfully, because I'm a little nervous about them. Definitely knowing you and hearing stories and everything has gotten me into a better place. Because I will say one thing that you had told me was, we're always stronger than they are. Like we're better than them, I guess. And so that's even a little bit in my mind. So who knows, now that I'm coming into maybe a little bit more acceptance and openness and all of that, that things will happen. I don't know.
Well, I've said this several times, but growing up, I was terrified of ghosts. And up until, probably 3, 4 years ago when I first started tapping into my abilities, and I was so terrified to even learn how to be psychic because I was like, this is just going to attract more things and it's just going to be even harder for me. But I found that freedom on the other side of being able to know what's around me now and not be scared because I'm like, oh, okay, it's just this man. Like, I had this weird experience actually a few weeks ago that I felt somebody watching me. And I just, like, in my house, and it was several days. And finally, I was like, what the heck is this? So I tuned in, and it was a man, a spirit, and he just wanted me to find out what happened to his mom in the like 1800s. Very strange story. But I would have just been terribly scared for, years, just letting that man be in my home. But at that point, I was able to talk to him, help him, help him move along and give him that, that grace of, his soul moving off the earth that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So there's a lot of, like, I'll often say there's a lot of neutral spirits out there, or like spirits who just need to move on, or spirits that aren't going to bother you, like this spirit, but they're just there. But there are some bad ones, but most of them are, there's a lot of selfish ones out there, but most of them aren't. Most of them are just like you and I in a different way, you know?
Right, right.
Yeah.
I like to hear that.
Yeah. That's most of the time. Most house clearings I do, I'm just helping them move along. And then there's some like nasty stuff in people's homes too, but most of the time they're just like around. So, yeah, the more that you build your abilities, the more that anybody builds their abilities, they'll be able to find that freedom too. Yeah. But otherwise, like growing up in my childhood, I was terrified all the time. And then when I've gone back psychically and looked at who was there, I'm like, none of these spirits are scary. I mean, none of them are. But I was terrified because I could hear them.
Right. So, you and I have spoke about this. The house that I grew up in that my parents still live in. So I probably don't want to do a spiritual reading because I'd like to go back there, but I was always, always scared in the house, although I did not have any experiences. But also, which I don't know if I have told you, my sister's room, she's older than me. So she had the room until she went to college and moved out of the house. And then I moved into that room after because it was the bigger room. I have had countless dreams of an entity in that room.
Oh, yep. Okay.
And it's not in my dreams, it's scary. And I'm just like in my dreams, like knowing that something is in there. It hasn't spoke, it hasn't done anything. It's just a very real feeling that in my dream, then I just leave. Or even walking by there. It's very, and I don't think I even kind of, obviously, it's been a while since I've had one of those dreams, but countless dreams of that room.
Yeah. So I would say there's something there then. Yeah. And I won't do a reading for you. I won't tell you psychically what's in that home because you
Although
don't
that's
know.
not the spare room now. That's like my mom's craft room. So nobody sleeps
Oh,
in there, but.
Okay. Well, yeah, when we have nightmares and they're like reoccurring of things like that, that is legit. And if you feel a heaviness in that room, if you have a fear of going by that room, if you're having all these dreams about that room, I do wonder if there's some element of you needing closure on that, you know? I don't
Yeah.
know. Because we do have nightmares about those things. And if you've ever heard of people with sleep paralysis, a lot of times that is a spirit standing over us. So, yeah,
Hmm.
not to scare you. Don't
Interesting.
go stay in that room, but next
I
time you're
mean, there isn't
there.
even a bed. My mom's a little bit of a hoarder with all of her crafting stuff, so you can
Oh.
barely even get through that room now. Um, but yeah, I had kind of forgotten about that.
Yeah, that's such an interesting story. I know that when I've done energy clearings in people's homes, a lot of times they're hoarders. Well, not everybody's a hoarder, but sometimes they're hoarding things. And I've been told afterwards that they end up clearing out a lot of the stuff that they've been holding on to after clearing. So it must have something to do with that heavy energy that maybe they're subconsciously trying to block the energy by hoarding and putting things in their home like that. I don't know. I've just had so many people tell me they've really cleaned after a clearing.
And I have heard like clutter, mess, hoarding, that all really does relate to what's happening really with you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like all mental health stuff
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
all kinds of stuff like that.
yeah,
So
and then
that makes sense to me.
yeah, yeah, it would make sense because those negative energies, they do bring in a lower vibration. They make us feel bad in our bodies. So yeah, I could see that. It's like a control thing almost. Yeah. Well, I just the last thing I'll say about that is a lot of people have told me that their animals go to the bathroom in certain rooms where I've cleared out a dark energetic parasite. And I found this out after several clients said, yeah, my animals were going to the bathroom in that room and they're not anymore. And so many people have said that to me. And there was
Oh,
always
wow.
like a negative energy in that room. So it's really weird. Yeah.
Huh.
So,
That is weird.
yeah. So I guess the animals are trying to mark their territory too. Like, you can't come through this barrier. And maybe that's what people are doing with hoarding stuff as well. I don't know.
Sure, sure. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for doing this video with me today. Do you have anything else you want to add to this before we get off?
No, I think I'm good. I've just really enjoyed exploring all of this with you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, me too. It's been really fun to see your skills grow and your understanding of things, and just even how you've gotten so many feathers as signs that you're on the right path has been really awesome too.
I found another feather this weekend
Oh my gosh, that's
when
so
I was out of town, so I just put it in my truck door so I could just remember that I'm on the right path.
yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely are. Cool. Well, thanks again, Michelle. And if anybody else wants to be on this video series, please send me a message because I love hearing your stories and other people do too. All right. Have a great day, Michelle. Thank you.
You too.
All
Thanks.
right. Bye.